Hi, this is a review for the Samsung POWERbot. I'm going to jump right in and do a spot clean here. I threw some litter on the rug, just so you can get a feel for this thing. It is a behemoth, and it is actually one of the most powerful suctions I've seen in a robot like this. There it goes. You will feel for it right away. I won't keep the sound on through the whole thing. That's how loud it is. Not very, considering. Okay, so that is a good example of what it does. It's picking up way more than what you see. It would finish the job if I'd let it. I'm absolutely excited. This is the first time out on it. And when I took the filter out, this thing had hair and dirt. It was just filled to the brim. It seems like these get rated against the industry standards of the iRobots, and I'll try not to do that, but I do have some pros and cons that I think allowed the pros and cons to exist because of my use of the iRobot. First of all, this is a lot heftier. The wheels are bigger in the back. It's a lot more sensitive. This is me pressing the home button on it. Now, I wanted it to just go home, and it was pretty far away from the base. I just wanted to see if it could find home, so you can get to see how it docks. And so, it finished what it was doing, whatever that was. Now I've made a little maze here, a mess, and it's going to figure out where the base is. It's on the other side of that carrier. So, it settles down like most of them do, turns the volume down, but it was pretty amazing how it knew to go out and look for it. I have an LG that has a much harder time finding the home base if it's not very close. So that was a nice feature, and this one just sort of aligns itself, gets it, slows, it's really like a docking station from right out of the Star Treks, right? So that part is really nice. What I had the most trouble with on this machine, now I know it's going to take some learning, and they give you a floor plan that you can actually train it what to do. Now with bots you have to pick up, you can't just leave them on the loose, and once they have a feel for the room, it gets easier and easier. The thing about this one though, the Wi-Fi setup was very tough if you have an iPhone. I wanted you to see it next to here, my iRobot, and see, it's a little fatter, a little heftier, and it has the filter right on top with that cyclonal force. And this is it again, pressing the home button just to see if it will find its way back. I always love that because I'm thinking if if it's cleaning and it's got to run back and charge itself, which it will do, it needs to find its way home. Now, while it's doing that, some of the things is the setup with the Wi-Fi. If you have an Android, you're going to have an easier time. If you have an Apple iPhone, it's a little tougher. And I don't know how and why that is, but they even say there's different steps you do, procedures, if you have an iPhone, which I do have. So the setup for this was remarkably tedious just to get it on Wi-Fi. And what I learned, and what I'm going to suggest to you, is to avoid some frustration, is to unplug, turn the power off, pull it away from the base, and recycle the phone, and let this, in its own sense, recycle as well. So again, it's docking from the other room, which is just a great feature. And you can turn that sound down. It does have a lot of beeps and noises. So when you're programming it, a couple of things is you want it tied into your Wi-Fi, because that's what it'll get those Wi-Fi signals on the machine. See it right there. You can actually see the fan above those dots. That means it is connected to Wi-Fi. But these are some of the things I got. The device authentication not supported. Please connect to your null Wi-Fi. It was intense, and so you have to get the robot to send its Wi-Fi signal so we can grab that signal and then get in there and program it. And it was just very tough to link these two together. So, and then this is what happened. I started losing battery power. I was just sort of like, how long is this going to take? And it wasn't very long before the battery just started dripping down, and I finally unplugged. Turned off the phone, power cycled the phone, power cycled the modem, and power cycled the robot, and we got in. And that when you get in, you'll get that one device there just in the nick of time. You'll actually get this remote. Once you're connected, you don't have to go through all that again. Yeah, that's the nice part. So this now works from anywhere in your house. That's what makes this very powerful, I think. And it tells you where it is, like what it's doing. So I like that a lot. I love that it was not the bully in the room like my LG is. Now it does have boundary markers. It's just a strip of red, seemingly magnetic tape that they just mentioned very briefly on page 32 to make a C out of that, so it will prevent it from falling over stairs or doing something that you're considering very dangerous that you don't want it to be around. I have not tried those yet, and they don't say a lot about them, but there is a strip. Again, iRobot does that the best with its invisible boundary that you can buy, but I did not mind this at all. I thought this was a very powerful machine. I think it's going to take some time to get it in your groove, but once you do, it will absolutely clean, and I think you're going to enjoy having it around over time. So you got to play with it, and you got to give it some. The remote control actually was a great device too. It really responded well to that. But I think with some patience and with some design, like where you let it read the room, you're going to be absolutely impressed. And they give you some ways to do that. And Samsung's always improving this with downloads, because as long as you're connected to the Wi-Fi, it can download and upgrade itself. Okay, so this is me just messing with the remote control from the other end of the room. I basically would, whenever I'd get lost, I would just say, get home. And it would like find its way home. Very easy. That home-based thing is important to me because it goes under the bed, and it maneuvers under things that I am surprised it maneuvers as good as it does. And so if it needs to get home, it finds a way home, and I really do appreciate that. So I like this thing. It's very powerful, and you are going to require some patience to get along with it, but I don't think you're going to mind overall. If you do have the patience and somebody maybe to help you and not get so frustrated. Okay, I'm going to just sign off. I'll turn the volume down, let you just watch it do its thing. I hope that helps.